Hey YouTube, it's Mike. How you doing? I'm having a great day. It's not exactly low light for Mike right now. Hope you're having a great day. Hope that you enjoy watching this video as much as I'm enjoying moving back and forth. Let me look deep into your eyes. I'm having fun. The sky's gotten lots of cloud in it, which is making photography and video lighting okay for late morning. So I'm thankful for that. Have yourself a great day. Thanks for watching this. Here's the big picture for the location of my hike, Vancouver Island on the west coast of British Columbia. And the little red circle is where I was. Here's a zoomed in map of the railways, and the Port Alberni subdivision of the E&N Railway, which I was on, runs from right to left from Parksville to Port Alberni. And the other railway going up the coast is the Victoria subdivision working its way up to Courtenay. And the red line is the location of my hike, from the Alberni summit to the west end of Cameron Lake. Here's a close-up of the hike location, and my starting point is at the bottom, about mile 20.6. I start pretty close to Highway 4 on the east slope of the Alberni summit. There's my turnaround point at the top of the map. It's about mile 16.6, west end of Cameron Lake. Those 4 dashes are the 4 bridges and trestles that I encountered during my hike. And that is the extent of my hike. It was 4 miles out, 4 miles back. That translates to about 13 kilometers total walking. It's just after 7 a.m. It's a good time to start a hike on a summer day. So I'm heading up to the E&N Railway. I'm not going that way. I'm going this way. Railway east towards Cameron Lake. So this is the big curve on the east side of the Port Alberni summit, and at the end of this curve will be my first trestle of the day at mile 20.2. It has been 4 months since I was here last, and that's too long for me because I like this area. It has been about 5 weeks since I last did a railway hike, and so I really missed it. And so the main objective for today is just to enjoy it, to enjoy the cool of the morning right now, to enjoy interesting old railway structures like this trestle coming up, and hopefully to make some interesting video and take some interesting photographs. Here at mile 20.2. It's a cable down the middle of the deck of this trestle, and you'll see the same thing on all the other crossings on this hike. And that is from the crew that did the fiber optic cable installation project, which finished up earlier this spring. So I don't know how long that cable is going to stay here, but it's interesting. I believe the workers attach themselves to it for safety purposes when working on a structure. It's a job site, so there are safety standards. Every time I'm here, I like turning around and enjoying the view of the mountain up there, Mount Arrowsmith. Okay, moving on. Coming up soon, milepost 20. Feel like a tour guide. On your left, a rock face. On your right, a drop-off down to Highway 4. The mileposts and stuff are always the same on these hikes, but the lighting is different. Always dependent on the clouds, the time of day, so everything just looks a little bit different every time. I have many favorite parts of this hike, and this is one of them. Coming up on the right is the site of the Arrowsmith section house from years gone by. House is long gone, but the flat ground is still evident. Yeah, the section house was through there. There's the flat ground immediately just by these ferns. The site of the water tower with the Leonard Frank photo on the sign from 1911. It's concrete forms right there. This is the height of the spring growth here, so it's hard to see stuff, but it is pretty obscured. And the section house would be through there around the corner. Here's an example of retaining wall holding up the slope. There used to be a trestle here, and it was filled and held in. And there are more examples of this coming up on this hike. With a steep drop off in this area, that's what they did a lot of the time. Hold in the slope with a retaining wall. Here's another lush area with soft ground between the rails, hence the green growth. Here is mile 19. The post is up on the right. The rock face straight ahead is one of my favorites for photography on this hike. It's just before the compound bridge at mile 18.8. And you can see the dark metal girders of the compound bridge in the background. So this compound bridge has a timber trestle on either side of the half-depth plate girder, something like that bridge. From what I can tell from being here before, this near side here is a timber frame trestle, and the far side is a short timber pile trestle. Just walk over here to give a view of the structure from the side. Bit of rail sticking out as rebar. Here's more of the retaining wall. This is mile 18.8. Here's a windfall. I think it was recent, as I don't recall it from before. Thank you to whoever cut it up, cleared it, and there's the kink in the rail from where it hit. On the right here was the Appanese siding. This is about mile 18.4 or so. Here's another one of my favorite spots. Just this shade, cool of the morning, rocks. This is just typical of the line around here. I think that's why I like it. It's just on a ledge of rock face and drop off on the other side. Yeah, I like this curve up ahead. It's pretty. There's one of the many grease boxes along the line. You can find them about every mile. This one's about mile 18.3 or so. Here is the mile 18.1 Trestle. So the planking on this trestle is from the fiber optic cable project, and it was to make it safe for the workers to go across. And that's because this trestle's deck is the worst, maybe the worst on the whole E&N, and so the planking helps. It's a creek. Continuing eastward, and just up ahead is the mile 18 post. Hard to see because of the tree growth. Just up around this corner is the mile 17.5 Trestle. Mountain Creek is what the railway calls it. Really creative name. This is probably my favorite of the four today. Hardest to get to. So this is one of my favorites. In the background are just trees that just turn a beautiful color in October. So that's my motivation to come back here. That Windfall is new. Broke off there. Well, I'm thankful for good lighting here and a bug spray. Okay, I'll continue eastward for another mile or so. So another purpose of today's hike, besides me getting out and getting some good exercise and some good photographs, is just to note the changes to the railway. And what I've noted so far is a few new bigger windfalls, which makes sense because we've had some pretty big windstorms this spring. But the good thing about the windfalls is that they've been cleared, and either as part of the fiber optic finishing up the project, or just some good recreational users who I'm always thankful for. Here's another kink in the rail caused by a windfall tree, and that's been there for as long as I've been coming here, which is just over 3 years. Yeah, June 2019 was the first time I hiked through here. It looked a lot different. It was badly overgrown and lots of windfalls. Nothing had been cleared. So it was quite the expedition. It's a whole lot nicer to walk now. It looks like a railway. This is around mile 17. There's no post. There used to be. I've never seen it, but according to charts that I've seen, it's right around here. Coming up here about mile 16.8 or so is where the rail was broken by various rock falls. There's 3 different breaks. Happened in, I think, 2020. And they were repaired in a simple way for the fiber optic cable project so that they could move their rail car that they had their materials on. And they just did simple welds of some replacement rail sections, and you'll see what I mean when I get there. It was just simple enough to allow their work cart to move. So both rails were missing for a section, and here's the weld right by my foot. Here's the culprit, the big rock. It's been nicely cleaned up. I've noticed the difference today compared to when I was here in early March, with just things being more cleaned up. And I think that's a result of the fiber optic cable project being completed. It was still just a bit in progress last time I was here. I'm coming up to the eastern end of an 8-mile stretch where the fiber optic cable runs alongside the railway. And here, up on the right, it goes down to the lake. And what I've heard is that it then goes as a submerged cable eastward down Cameron Lake, and then follows the utility poles above ground from Cameron Lake Chalet area eastward. Something like that. In any case, here's where it goes down. I like this area. Mile 16.7 is what I've estimated it as. It's a lovely curve. Scene of many rock falls over the years. Okay, I'm coming up to my turnaround, about mile 16.6, as the broom is going to start up again. And just here on my right is the furthest eastward along the railway that I've seen evidence of the fiber optic cable project. They used this for something. Turning around equipment, storing equipment, something like that. And further on down there, the broom starts up, and that's my signal to stop. Broom holds ticks, ticks hold Lyme disease. I don't like that lifelong affliction. go back. I'm walking back westward, coming up to a spot where I'm going to stop and take a break, get rid of some layers of clothing. Okay, break time over. Shorts. And I got a fresh layer of bug spray on. So again, this is about mile 17. There's no post, but this is the area. Here's the railway signage leading up to the mile 17.5 trestle. The W is the whistle sign. Blow the train's whistle to alert any hikers who might be up ahead crossing the trestle, because when the railway was operating, this was also a popular hiking area with Mount Horn above. So that gives enough time for any hikers who might happen to be on the trestle structure to move. And here's the signage to tell the train that there's an obstruction ahead. So if the train has something like a snow plow blade, to lift that, because the obstruction ahead is the inner guardrail, the Jordan rail on the trestle. And the trestle is right up here around the corner. Just finished having fun doing a variety of poses right there. And now, time to continue on my hike westward. So again, there's the most recent Windfall. Okay, I need to get back here in mid-October for the autumn leaves. So until then, I hope. We are coming up to mile 18, and then around the corner, the 18.1 trestle. The light is still pretty good. Thank you, clouds. And I can hear the creek on this one. I was here an hour or so ago. Now let's look down where there used to be a fire barrel platform. So according to an old chart that I've seen, this trestle crossing, mile 18.1, was rerouted a little bit during one of the rebuilds. So instead of, it was basically rebuilt next to the old one, and I think the old one was kind of just through there. Obviously, because it can't be on that side because the cliff is right there. So it would have come across, which explains why there's a little curve in the trestle now to get out of the way. It would have just come across there. It's really impossible to see what the old routing would have been, other than maybe more straight across. That's just my guess. What a pleasant place to walk here, around mile 18.5 or so. Here comes what I think is a recent windfall. And when I was coming through earlier this morning, the smell of the wood chips from the chainsaw were just a really good smell. I'm getting a good whiff of it right now. As usual, big thanks to whoever cleared this. I appreciate it. The kink will remain. It's the retaining wall on the left. Straight ahead is the compound bridge. Okay, I want to come back here mid-October as well. Just look at all those maple leaves. The lighting is pretty amazing here. Here comes milepost 19. Yeah, I gotta get by. Sorry. Okay, Arrowsmith Water Tower Site, mile 19.6. Hard to see all the items because of the overgrowth. The sign, the water barrel, concrete form, concrete form. Come on, bird, veer off. Yeah, that was good. That's what you're supposed to do. Good job, bird. Here's milepost 20. I'm almost done my hike. Another 20 minutes. Okay, the trestle is ahead. And there's lots of clouds hiding Mount Arrowsmith. This is a simple trestle. It's over a dry ravine. This is The only fire barrel platform, obviously. I really like this corner. It's part of the big curve going up to the Alberni summit at Loch Arkaig. And so I have come to the end of my hike. It's been fun and I'm tired. Thanks for watching this. Have a great day.